That's a pretty good meme already, commit. I like that one. Best plane. Right, I'm back. And it's dev server time. So if you just bear with me a sec, as I skip through all of this. And then we can actually have a look at what we've got. Right. Now, this is the first dev server. I need to point that out. There may be another one, or there may be vehicles missing from this. And things are likely and probably going to change for a lot of the stuff that's been added in this patch. Anyway, without having any other, well, saying anything else about that, I can give you a list of what we've got. If I just work through them by nation and by type, I suppose is going to be the best way of doing this. We've got the F4 Phantom E there for America. That's a new variant of the Phantom. The Japanese have also got a variant of the Phantom as well, the F4E. The A4B is new as well. That's 8.7 BR. These are realistic battle BRs that I'm looking at the moment, so they should be correct at least for that, for the time being. That gets sidewinders. Plus Gatling gun as well. Or does that get it? That's standard. I'm not sure. I think it may do, but honestly not 100%. Yeah, it's got a gun there. And there. So it's got two guns. Alright, so it can have... another gun as well? Yeah, it can. Alright. A gun pod of some sort. Possibly. That is new. It's not exactly what I would call going to be exciting. I don't think it will be anyway. It's going to be a bit of a bomb truck more than anything, very similar to the Fury that we've got already. Both of those are subsonic. That obviously isn't, and that gets better missiles, the AIM-9Js. It also gets flares as well. Let me just check the other Phantom. Does this get additional flares now? It gets RWR. Okay. Britain, sorry, not Britain, Germany. Germany get a JU-188A2. If I just bring that up, we can have a quick look at that. Okay. That's a bomber. So it's going to be limited in certain respects. Yeah, it's not got any fixed firing forward weapons. It does have 220mm and a 13mm machine gun as well in defense. And that bomb load isn't too bad. And it's at 5.3 BR. Germany get a new bomber. That's only a twin engine, but it isn't... Yeah, that's not that quick actually. But yeah, they get a new plane anyway. Russia, they get a... nothing. They don't get any new planes. They do get new stuff though, and we'll come back to that. Britain, they get the Lightning, which is here, and that's a 10.0 BR. Interesting. Let me just check this. That doesn't get RWR or flares. Okay. And that doesn't get RWR or flares. That's a pretty good meme. This is Japan. So Japan get that Phantom. And that gets flares. Yeah, let's see. This is where the balancing gets even worse than it was before. I was kind of afraid this was going to happen, and it is. It's just going to get really messy at top tier as far as jets go. China, don't care about China. Italy, Don't get any new planes. In fact, let's have a look. Sweden do. Sweden get their dragon, finally. Or one of the dragons. This thing. Interesting how it's got its under the landing gear here. Obviously to stop the tail from hitting the deck when you try and take off. That's quite an interesting feature, actually. Okay. What's next then? Ground vehicles, I suppose. I'll go through everyone else first before we come back to the Swedes. So, USA, I don't think they actually get anything. Nope. Not that they need anything, really. Germany, they get a new vehicle, maybe? Yeah, that thing. That's at 9.0. I did look at this. Well, I say I did look at this. I had a quick Google search on this thing, and as soon as I saw it, I was just like, well, it doesn't really surprise me. The only thing that surprised me is that it gets an L7 105mm gun straight away. With a name like that, with the 90, I thought it might end up with a 90mm gun, but yeah, it's got a 105. Which doesn't surprise me at all. The Centauro is pretty much the same thing. If that gets thermographics, then it doesn't actually. Long. Alright, well, that thing's kind of screwed over then, even more so. The Centauro is better than that, and that's at 8.0 BR. This thing might get APF SDS, yep, but it doesn't get thermographics, and that is the decider for light vehicles at top tier. Or in the top kind of bracket. What else have we got then? So, nothing else there. Russia get the T-72B, which is there. Now this apparently has like up to 900mm of armor protection on the front. Believe that if you will. But as far as its actual capabilities go, it's pretty much a T-72. The armor might be improved frontally, but on the side, it's still the T-72, and that basically means it's got the old turret ejection system that is common amongst all Russian tanks, or MBTs, I should say. And with that, I mean that you shoot it from the side, pretty much anywhere below that turret, and it's going to go up like a Roman candle, for the simple reason that that's where all the ammo is. So all you need is a very slight side angle, and you've got a shot into that area, which will detonate the tank. Right. Anything else there? No other new vehicles, I believe. Britain, we get something new. We get premium, which is going to be sat down here, 8.7 BR. That's a lower BR. How that gets thermographics? How that is lower than that vehicle I was just having a look at, but has thermographics? I have no idea whatsoever. That's Gaijin doing their pay-to-win thing. And I guess DM23. Let's have a look at the other one. If this gets DM23 and that's all it gets, then there you go. See, they give it DM33 just to make it a little bit better. And that's not that much better, if I'm completely honest. It's okay as far as, penetration values go, but it's not enough difference there to make it so it's going to be able to just one-shot anything from the front. Especially with regards to top tier MBTs. So, yeah, the 0.3 BR and adding that DM33 round is just Gaijin, being Gaijin. But as far as that vehicle goes, that is worse than the premium Roycat of that much, I am sure. Because that gets thermographics, and that much I am sure, because Gaijin have stated that themselves. If I bring this up, there you go, that's the thermographic symbol there. So yeah, there's that. China do get a new tank, that one. I assume it's that one, because that's the only one I don't, well, I've got unlocked, because I've not touched China at all. And I don't intend to either. Because for the 4 vehicles that they've got that are actually Chinese, You have to go through about 30 that aren't, and they're all vehicles that I've played, and I just don't have any time or interest to go through them all again. As far as this thing goes, so the armor, 50mm. I assume it's got composite behind there. Yep, but that's pathetic. External composite armor with near elements. Interesting comment. So that, I assume, like the Leopard 2, has ablative parts on the turret cheeks. If that is the case, then it may take one round to get through that, and then you're into the, soft stuff. But honestly, can't say for sure without trying it. Right, so yeah, we'll go through Sweden next, I think. And see what the deal is with this lot. Now I'm going to have to go through these individually to check them out. Because there's no actual pictures on the images. I do know what some of these are just from the designations, but I'm still going to have to go through them all. And they do have a 10.0. Interesting. Right, so we'll start off with the reserves and work our way through them. STRV M31. That's a reserve vehicle. I don't think that's been done on a dev blog, but I could be mistaken. There's a 37mm gun. It seems to be relatively long barreled, so yeah, I'd expect decent pen with that. Or a decent pen for a reserve vehicle. 59mm of pen, that isn't bad. It's not amazing, but it's something. And that does get APHE as well. Okay. STRV M38. Let's have a look at this. Similar gun, maybe even the same. Yeah, it's the same gun. And same ammunition types as well. PVLVV-FM-42. That's an interesting designation. Okay, let's have a look at this. This is AA, I think. Maybe? Question mark? It doesn't have any symbols on there that would give me an idea. What's the depression and elevation? That's a better one. Yeah, that's AA. It's got to be AA. Must be. 45 degrees upper elevation and 25-degree rotations per second, or rotation per second, and that kind of fire rate as well. I'd guess that to be AA or SPAA, but it looks very cheap, like really cheap, and that will be killable with machine gun fire. Yeah, two-man crew, and you've got 13 mils of armor. Right, so that, yeah, that's SPA. That's light tank, and that is going to be a tank destroyer. Let's have a look at this then. 150mm gun. I assume that doesn't get heat. No, it doesn't. It's just HE. So that's actually an artillery piece. What's the elevation on that? Well, that's interesting. So it's not actually an artillery piece, not dedicated artillery piece is what I'd guess. And it's more of a, I don't know. It's a really weird one. It's more like an assault gun, I suppose, but yeah, it's got the armor for it, I suppose, front, I think. Interesting. But just a pure HE frying it. Gun, that's, yeah. It's not. You're not going to be able to up-tier that much at all. Right, the AKV-72. That's a tank destroyer. So why is that not over there, comrade? Yeah, they've got tank destroyers here, and tank destroyers over here. Okay. See, why don't... This is something I don't get sometimes. Like, they've got tank destroyers here, like I say. But this is what I'd assume to be a light tank line. Starts off with a light tank there. There's a light tank there. There's a light tank there. There's another one here. In which case, these should surely be a branch over here. Like, should there not be a split there and have two separate tank destroyer trees? Like one for them and one for these. That would make sense to me. This doesn't make sense at all. And just looks sloppy. Right, so this thing gets a 75mm gun. That's a bit of a step up. And that's a 1.7 BR. And 85mm of pen. That'll pen a Matilda. And that's a 1.7 BR. Nice power creep, comrade. The Matilda is at 2.7 BR. Yeah. These guys. They just don't know when to stop, do they? Alright, next one. This thing. The STR VM-40L. This is the Panzer 2 or 3 clone that they did, I think. 37mm gun. That's the same as the reserve gun. Exactly the same. And that's at 2.0 BR. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. The gun has exactly the same stats as the rank 1 gun. The one that's 1.0. But it's 2.0. I'd expect the BR for that to drop. If it's a case that... I mean, looking at the armor values as well, they've got very similar armor as well, which makes utterly no sense for that to be 2.0 if that's using exactly the same gun and has very similar armor values and speed. In fact, that's faster than that, and that's... Yeah. Bravo, Gaijin. Next tank destroyer, this one. SAV M-43 1944. That's a 2.0 BR. A 1944 tank at 2.0 BR. That says a lot about this game. And this gets smoke, 69mm of pen, 68mm of pen, 51mm of pen. That's terrible penetration values. It doesn't get heat. That is a howitzer. 75mm gun. That's bad though. That's really quite bad. Does it even get APHE? It does. But only 51mm of pen. So, down to the SDRV M41-S2. I assume that means. And that's a lot like the German tank. So, Gaijin, you know, they claim that we're going to be getting 60 completely new vehicles this patch. That's a lie, comrade. That's a lie. That's the same gun as at tier 1. But they do get APDS at 2.3 BR. Because reasons, comrade. 105mm of pen. That's balanced, comrade. Very balanced. Alright, next one. Lego 1. Lego 1. Very similar to the one that was previous to it, I think. 2.7 BR. Same gun again, I think. If that is the case, yeah, that's the reserve gun, but it does get APDS. At 2.7 BR. LVTD GBM40. SPAA. It's a truck. At least it's got armor on it, which is kind of interesting, considering, you know, gas trucks. 17mm of pen, or of armor even. Wow. Wow. It can still be hull breakable, though. Or it's still hull breakable. SAVM 43 1946. So this came 2 years after the one previously, and the penetration values. There we go. It's got heat. 240mm of penetration at 3.0 BR. Balanced, comrade. It's very balanced. So that'll pen a mouse, and that's at 3.0 BR. And the mass is at 7.7 BR. I can detect just a little bit of power creep on this one. Just a little bit. Maybe. PVKV2. Let's have a look at this one. Right, I think they did a dev blog on this one, actually. 146 mils a pen at 3.3 BR. 158 with the better ammunition time. And that's APHE as well. Turret rotation is 13 degrees per second. 14, yeah, that's got decent depression. And not bad elevation either. Speed isn't bad. That shouldn't be a 3.3 BR, comrade. It can be hull breakable, so that's probably the reason. In fact, let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's going to be a big issue with these. And that is the balancing factor, apparently. That's what they're going to balance most of these vehicles on. Hull breaking. Like that free vehicle, for example, 240 mils of pen, but you can hull break that. You might not be able to now, comrade. But in 3 months' time, you will be able to. STRV M42EH. That's got a 75mm short barrel gun. Or relatively short barrel, 85mm of pen. 85 and 63 with the APHE. So again, that's not what we'd call amazeballs. And that's a 3.0 BR. 40 mils of armor isn't going to stop much at that BR either. Right, now we're on to rank 3. And then, wow, that shift though. The shift up. Like, look at this. 3.0, 3.0, 3.0, 3.3, 5.7 commit. 4.7, 4.0, 5.0. Alright, so we'll go from the lowest BR first. This one's SPAA. And it gets one gun with a 40mm. $79 a pen. That seems quite high. Interesting. 120 shots per minute. That's kind of typical for a 40mm, I think. Or that kind of caliber. 4.7. This is a medium tank. Oh. That's got the same level of armor as the rank 1 medium tank. But the armor penetration is significantly better. I'm guessing this has got APDS. No, it's just got APHE. Okay. Uh, 5.0 next. This is a tank destroyer. 75mm. Relatively long barreled open top though. 70 mils of armor isn't going to stop anything at that kind of BR. And APHE with 158 mils of pen, which is, I think, very similar to that other vehicle I was just looking at. And then I've got the IKV 103 here at 5.7 BR, which I think, nope. Interesting. Short barreled 105mm gun with heat that it starts off with 240 mils of penetration. And it gets EFS with 400 mils of penetration at 5.7 BR. These guys just have no shame whatsoever, do they? It's just, you know, give us money for the next pay to win vehicles, comrade. Right, on to rank 4. There's only 4 tanks in rank 3. And we've got the LKV 42 there at 4.7 BR. Okay, 40mm. Yeah, very similar to the one that I was just looking at. A little bit better penetration with the gun. I'm assuming, yeah, that's all breakable. Right, so 6.3. So this one, that's a TD. And this one, looks very similar to the ones previously. That's from 1963. And this gets APDS, 6.3 BR. It starts off with APHE. That is a horrible vehicle, though. Not one of these vehicles I've looked at so far has been aesthetically pleasing or what I would call practical. What is going off with that? That's got to be a fuck up on in some way, shape, or form, surely. I can't be just sat like that. Really. Just no. But I've not, none of the vehicles I've looked at so far, I've gone, yeah, I like the look of that vehicle. It's, sexy looking or whatever. Next one. 6.3 USH 405. I saw them looking at this on the dev server, and I just laughed when I saw this. It's like some James Bond, baddie car or something. You can imagine James Bond driving off with his Daimler Benz over there, and this is the baddie vehicle that they're chasing him after him with. And this gets rockets, well, heat rockets, with 330 mils of pen. They fire off in pairs, and you get how many shots? 18 shots, so 9 shots in total, I think. 2-man crew, yeah, no armor. 40 mils of armor. That's not hull breakable. Wow. That's probably one of the first vehicles, other than the medium tanks, that haven't been hull breakable. And as far as wheeled vehicles in this game goes, that's literally the first one I think I've seen that isn't hull breakable. Wow. Okay, so now we're on to the SDR V81. I think I know what this is. Centurion, yeah. And that's the Centurion Mark III, or Swedish equivalent. That's 6.7 BR. Right, now we're on to rank 5. Now, this should be where the S-tanks start appearing. Some of these, maybe. Well, there's one there. There's another one there as well. But that, I think, should be another Centurion. Yeah, that's the Centurion Mark 10. Or if equivalent. There are other versions of that available for them to put in for the Swedes, so we may get some more of them as well. 7.7 BR, so IKV 91. Yeah, I have seen this one before actually. 90mm Bofors with a soft recoil, I think. Just TFS though. 400 mils of pen at 7.7. Don't know if it gets a stabilizer. Didn't see, that isn't listed in the information. 7.7 UDES 33. Dear God. It's like they've not even bothered to try and design that at all. I mean, honestly, it's just like a turd. Does that, what missile does it get? Actually, I need to just check. RB-55, 430 mils of pen. And I guess MVG. That is something I'm going to have to start looking for, thinking about it. That doesn't get MVG. That does. Let's have a look at their 8.0. Dear God. That's hideous. 40 mils, it's got radar guidance at least, and it gets a machine gun. Oof. Penetration values are 66 mils, that's not a lot. Yeah, that 95 mil, there you go. So it can actually do stuff against tanks. But looks hideous at the same time. I'm assuming that can be hull breakable as well. It's not. Okay, interesting. That can be. Wait, what? The arm values are wrong for that. That can be hull breaking, I think. And now that's the interesting thing about these SDRVs. In Gaijin's terminology, that is possibly hull breakable. And likewise that one as well. But Gaijin. So I assume that they've not made them hull breakable. That is going to be the production version. Or the first production version at least, I think. That is the pre-production version. SDRV 103C. This is the more modern version, which has the fence, if you want to call it that, hash protection. Also, bladed blocks down there, and it's got the dozer blade as well, which should add a little bit of additional armor. That's 4mm thickness, is it? Is that really 4mm thickness, comrade? Are they just really freaking having a joke or something? I mean, yeah, effective thickness for, like, just fucking, what? What? If that's 4mm thick, then that means that the entire tank is literally about 30 centimeters tall. Right. Oh, they're getting the premium there. Interesting, comrade. CV90105 TML. Very interesting, comrade. Um, 105mm gun. With DM23. Or M735. And I guess demographics. What a surprise. At 9.0 BR. Oh, what a surprise. Didn't see that one coming. What else have we got then? So we've looked at that. LVKV90C. Oh, wow. That's good. This is a SPAA. That's not hull breakable either. Oh, I'm pretty sure. What the? Wait, this is SPAA. That's SPAA. That, no, it is. No, what? That really, to me, doesn't look like SPAA for the simple reason that that turret doesn't look like it's shaped in order to engage air targets. It's shaped to look like it's engaging ground targets. Elevation's only 20 degrees. That's rubbish. I'm thinking that they may be modified just a normal IFV to do this, which seems very strange for Sweden. Let's just do a test drive of that. And that rotation as well. It does have radar. And it does have actual tracking radar as well. But you're going to be hard pressed to fucking hit anything with this thing. Why is the gun not... game? Hello? Oh, it's not on. Wait, what? Oh, wow. This is totally broken. There we go. Right, so you can at least do that, but let's have a look at this gun elevation. Yeah, that is like only 20 degrees. It's not a lot at all. It does get APFSDS, but in the anti-air role, which is what this is supposed to be for, this is rubbish. For a start, it's got really bad turret rotation. Secondly, it's not got a decent gun elevation. If anything, you know, if like a helicopter was to fly above this, it wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Nothing at all. But, yeah. Like I say, I think that's more of an adaptation of an IFV, possibly a prototype, which probably wasn't put into service. Um, it doesn't get the actual AA round unlocked to begin with. You have to unlock that as well. That's just a classy meme right there. Hmm. Yeah, it's not a 2D. Not with that radar block on the back. It's obviously an AA, but like I say, I think it's a adaptation. Um, did I have a look at this thing? No, but that's pretty much the same as the one before it, which again is horrible. Dear God. That's 9.0 BR. These missiles, yeah, that's got 630 mils of pen. They need to be like cluster missiles or something crazy for them to be that kind of BR though. That vehicle is hull breakable. It's terrible. It looks diabolical. Like with no imagination has been put into the design of that vehicle at all. It was probably an IFV or APC rather that they converted, maybe. But yeah, ew. STRV 121, and you've got your leopards or a leopard. That's equivalent to the Leopard 2A4 or thereabouts, but it's the Swedish version, so it may have slightly different armour. They do have another version, the STRV 122, which will come later and will fit into that gap there, and that's basically a Leopard 2A6 or A5 with bells on. CV 90120. Let's look at this. Okay, that's similar to the premium one that we were looking at. 120mm gun, so that should be able to, yeah, DM33. That'll do decent damage. And it looks as though it's got thermographics as well at 9.7 BR. But armor values say that that's hull breakable. And finally, the LVRBV701. Let's have a quick look at this. This is a TD again, and it looks horrible. That's hull breakable. And the missile is, that's rubbish. Oh, it's surface to air, so this is air to air. Okay, sorry, surface to air even. And it gets 80 gems as well. Wait a sec. So does it switch between the ammunition types then? No, you have to unlock it. Okay. But... right. So does that get radar? That's radar. Now, this might bear investigation. Let me just buy this stuff and we'll have a look. I'm assuming that you can either carry one or the other, not both. Yeah. In which case, you're going to be limited to either taking it in as an AA vehicle with that missile, I think, or as a anti-tank vehicle with that missile. The LVKV has been part of the CV90 family from the start. It seems to have 50 degrees of elevation. Was that what I was just looking at? That thing? Yeah. Because that has only got 20 degrees at the moment. So you might want to put Gaijin onto that one. As far as getting that sorted out is concerned. As far as this goes, that's a dual purpose vehicle. So if I take that out now, I think this is with the AA missile, but we'll see. Yeah, I think it is. Completely open top, that gun has no cover at all. Whoa. Game? Can I have some control over that, maybe? Please? Oh, okay. Right, far up. That's why it stopped moving. I was like, what? lost tracking. And it lost tracking again. This is really good. Like high-tech weaponry. I love it. It's brilliant. Don't go anywhere near him at all. What are these white dots coming off his back? I think this may be slightly broken, but it could be mistaken. It wouldn't surprise me though, this is worth it. That's going nowhere near the target at all. So this lead indicator is completely useless for this missile. And when it's out of guidance, you can't guide it with the mouse, with the mouse cursor rather than just that thing. Don't rate this one at the moment. I think that is going to have, what is it called, C-Class guidance as well. Where you guide it with your mouse and it's not radar guided or infrared guided. Semi-automatic. It just says surface to it. It doesn't give any type of information. Semi-automatic, that's it. Yeah. Wait a minute. No, I was using the wrong missile there then. Shit. Let's try it with that one. And see what that's like. This might be better in the AA role. Again, that doesn't seem to be lining up at all as far as the missiles go. I'd be better off guiding it myself without that thing. There you go. So they do work at least. Just that the radar doesn't work. Right, so that's pretty much all of the Swedish armoured forces I've been through. And a quick look at the plane as well. The only other things that I need to have a look at really are boats. Hands up in chat if you care about boats. Of which we get the Portland for America. So we're running truly into heavy cruiser territory now, looking at this. But 5.7 BR got rate. The Leipzig, which is also at 5.7 for Germany. You'll see a bit of a pattern developing as I go through these BRs for the heavy cruisers and new ships. None of them will be above 5.7 BR commit. There you go, Sverdlov, and they've got a new premium vehicle. The PL-41, yeah, try and pronounce that with a mouthful of food. And that one they've done a dev block on already, which is another heavy cruiser. Britain, we get the HMS Kent. Let's have a look at this. That at least might look like a cruiser of some sort. I'm not sure about it being heavy though. I assume it is, maybe. But no, it's not. Not by that armor value. Okay. So we get another, what, medium type cruiser, or just a cruiser, to deal with the German domination. Japan. Oh, they get a premium. The Mikuma, even. And the Kazuchi. Not sure. Yeah, I guess that to be post-war. It's got a radar dish on that gun there. And the Mikuma. Oh. Oh, that's rather pretty. Well, pretty camouflage, at least. Kind of different for a ship, anyway. And again, 5.7 BL chromate. There are no top tier premiums, see? See, top tiers here, but there are top tier premiums with the same BL as the top tier vehicles chromate. Excellent. No boats for Italy, France, or Sweden. No helicopters for Sweden, France, Italy, China, Japan, Britain, Germany, or the USA. But Russia get 2 helicopters. The Ka-29 and the Ka-52. This is bullshit. Unless we're getting the Apache with this patch, this is just utter biased development bullshit. For the simple reason that they're putting that in. I'm just going to have a look at and see what Smin has put in chat, just to see what, what kind of defense is actually put in. Because I asked him this earlier on, and I just find it amusing that they seem to think that the player base is fucking idiots or something. I asked him, so you're honestly telling me that the devs at Gaijin didn't realise the K-50 was going to be a problem, and as such have stalled development in order to attempt to fix the problem, and in the meantime, here's an even better Soviet helicopter with more missiles. That will fix the problem. Right? Now, his reply, this is straight from his reply. Okay? When the K-50 was first conceived, the current source material indicated that it only had an 8-kilometer range. However, in later stages, newer source material revealed it had a 10-kilometer range. As we also already have discussed, the K-50 is not the top tier in heli EC. What? Top helicopter in heli EC, and not actually the top in ground RB either. I don't know where he's discussed that, because I haven't seen that. However, the developers are well aware of the community's opinion of the helicopter and are trying to strike a balance between keeping it actually usable, keeping those who purchase it happy, and keeping the heli SVAG balance in line, of which there is none at the moment because of the Ka-50. The missiles cannot have their range artificially reduced yet. I don't see that there's been a problem, because it opens Pandora's box for all weaponry being artificially blah blah. And then he's just finished it off with, as soon as we have news on the matter, so share, we will. However, twisting my words and misleading people is not helping anyone. I don't really think I'm doing that when you guys are doing a pretty good job of it yourselves. Really. I mean, even if they added in the Apache with this patch, which they may or may not. Alright, I'm not going to say that they are now because it's not here. If it was here, if it was there, then I'd say we're getting it with this patch. It's not, and therefore I'm not going to say that we're going to definitely get it. Alright? But as far as this goes, this is just disgusting, and it's just making the situation worse. Gaijin claiming that this is, they were naive and didn't realise that the K-50 was going to make such a impact, are lying through their teeth, and them not doing anything about it by either adding in vehicles to counter it, or changing the maps, or making it so you can't even spawn in with it initially, which is the biggest problem, if I'm completely honest, is them just going, give us more money for the K-50. You need to buy the K-50 because, look, we're not doing anything about it. AXA. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And we're kind of seeing it again with more the latest pay-to-win vehicles as well, with the thermographics for ground forces. That's got thermographics. The British new Roycat, that's got thermographics. That doesn't surprise me at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if they replicate that straight across the board for every nation. But as far as doing this goes with the helicopters, it's just filthy. There's no need for that. That I don't give a shit about. But this, I do give a shit about, for the simple reason that this actually carries more missiles than the K-50. There's one loadout in here where it can carry 32, I believe. Possibly. Whether or not they've actually done that is a different matter. IRL, it could at least anyway. And if that is the case, and it does get into game like that, then you're looking at a weapons platform that is better than that, because that does get thermographics, as far as I'm aware. That doesn't. That is a pretty big difference. But if it is if it can carry literally twice the amount of missiles that can, then that's doubly more dangerous. I know the Centaurus thermographics 8.0, that's not a premium vehicle. The latest swathe of premium vehicles that are around about 9.0, 8.7 do have thermographic. And if you look at other vehicles in the tech tree around that kind of BR, quite a few of them don't. There's no coincidence there at all. It's all about the money. I'm not going to test all these for thermographics. I did have a look and some of them do actually get it. But I wouldn't be surprised if around about the 7.7 BR value they don't. Because that's before the time. But issues like that, as far as these helicopters go, right? That's even more disgusting when you think about this. Poor chap. Because that has been in game for over a year now, and it's still not got a Tetri. Yeah, I've seen that as well, still. They've added for the Japanese Phantom and the American Phantom. The British Phantom doesn't get them, and neither does the Lightning. I did check that both of those. Oh dear. That doesn't get flares as well. You see, this isn't... I mean, again, we're seeing another shift as far as that goes. With the F4Es, they've both got flares. None of the other top tier jets, in fact, literally no other jet in game gets flares. And now you've got two aircraft that have got them. Same for Italy as well. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same for everyone at the end of the day. Because, this is Gaijin that we're talking about. When they do stuff like this, they'll do it... Yeah, they might do it for the vehicles that actually had them. But they'll take their time back doing it. I mean, another example for things such as this, right? The Phantom. Okay. Don't even have to look at that without telling you that this doesn't get the Sparrows that it should have. In fact, yeah, it does have the notches cut into the fuselage front, which go there. I mean, they've got the notches fit, and I know that Gaijin are actually going to be working on these, but they're not in game yet, which means that this aircraft is literally half an aircraft in certain respects, as its main missile used for air-to-air combat, or at least its primary one, I suppose, isn't there. And it's still not here. I'm talking about the Sparrows. And there's a British equivalent of that missile as well. The American version has a range of about 45 kilometers, and the British one has a range of about 40 kilometers. Neither of them are in game. But you've got the positions to fit them. I mean, they could have delayed the release of this. They could delay the release of the other Phantoms, for that matter, and brought them in, and then brought them in with the Sparrows and everything, working on them, in one go. But rather than do that, they'd throw them in now with half of the equipment that they can actually use, so that, you know, people can play them, but at the same time they can milk the player base a little bit for it as well. I mean, that, again, we're just looking at BRs. That can do Mat 2. This can do about Mat 1.3. They've got exactly the same battle rating, and that is the more capable aircraft. It's just the same old crap. They don't even bother with the BRs now. Just thinking about anything else. I mean, what do you want to call it, this patch? Viking Power Creeper Go-Go or something? You tell me, guys. What do you think? You think it's important we have new toys to grind for? I mean, I'd like all of that. I mean, I like the idea of that kind of thing, I suppose, at the end of the day. But at the same time, I don't like the way that it's been done and has been done for the last 5 or 6 years with this game. And it's still doing, they're still doing it the same kind of way. Which is basically the power creep way. What option? Where one nation or maybe two nations will have a significant advantage for 3 months in one of the various modes, and then the next nation will have it for the next 3 months or however long. And in the case of the issue with the K50, that's been an issue since last October, I think. So we're looking at around about 5 months, and they've done nothing about it. To me, that just says that they want to get more money out of that, and, you know, milk the player base for as much as they want. But that's just me, apparently. Getting Sweden into game as far as like the tanks and aircraft goes is good for Swedish people, maybe. In terms of gameplay and what they're bringing to the table, let me think. Looking at the actual, you know, what we've got getting thrown in, they've got a few Kuriki vehicles. They've got a few copy-paste vehicles. And they've got some interesting TDs. Like, kind of down here, sort of. I mean, the S-Tanks are obviously quite interesting as well. But I'm not really that interested about the Centurions. As far as the other vehicles go, that LVKV 90C, that actually will probably end up being used quite a bit by me, at least. I think a 9.0 lineup is probably going to be pretty strong for them. They don't have any 10.3s at the moment. They will get at least one, at a guess. And that may end up getting downtied as well, thinking about it. That actually gets a bigger vertical guidance than the AA version. That makes no sense at all. I think, yeah, some things are going to definitely change with this. That doesn't make sense. If that had, you know, the same elevation as that, then I'd be like, all right, it's literally just a copy-paste vehicle with radar on top. But it's not. That's got a better elevation than that, and that's the AA version, which makes no sense at all. Well, until the dollars aren't... I assume you mean until the dollars aren't coming in, why change anything? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, I assume that it isn't necessarily working very well for him. considering the amount of premiums that they're constantly pumping out and other stuff that they're looking to try and do to try and get money out of the player base. What? Oh, god damn it. Look how far that is off where my mouse is pointing. That reload rate is pretty slow as well. It's probably more to do with the fact that the crew isn't probably in the vehicle. Yeah, they've just given up on map design, haven't they? This is just fucking pathetic. Look at that. Wow. That looks worse than anything I've seen so far, I think, as far as the urban maps go from Gaijin. That's saying something. That's really saying something. It'd be great for GTA. I mean, to be honest, most of these maps would be great for like first-person shooters. It's just that this isn't a first-person shooter. And that's always been the problem. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to take that actually because it's a little bit quicker. I thought these mountains were supposed to be miles away. That's just, that's literally about a kilometre away. Alright, so let's just see. Does this actually bring anything new? I've got to say, this looks bad already. I'm not enjoying this. There's too many like bright colours just scattered everywhere. It's hitting my eyes. And it's an urban shitfest, which is another reason not to like it. Yeah, this is just not interesting at all. Oh wow, you've put some siege work type things. I mean, like, you look at the Berlin map, yeah? Everything's fucking blasted to smithereens. And then you look at every other map, apart from maybe, I don't know, Denza or some shit. And it's perfect. Like, nothing's ever happened. Advanced Terrain's another one as well, actually. That's just blasted to pieces. Just look at this. It's like a fucking normal day in Sweden. You know. You just expect, like, old people to be crossing the road to go and pick the meatballs up from IKEA or something. You're considered to bring back Italy and ban this. Or the... What's it called? My current one that I've got banned is Japan. And... yeah, I still would rather play this than that, I think. But I don't want to play this either. It's just flat. Aircraft destroyed, what? Balance grenade. Get balanced. Oh, balance. Balance. Balance committee. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this is like a lot of Gaijin maps. It's still going to be smaller than the Border Tanks map, which is the really sad thing. What I find interesting as well is looking at the Swedish tank territory. Basically, I should have just looked straight at the Border Tanks Swedish territory for ideas as far as, you know, anything unusual goes, because that's pretty much what Gaijin did. He's very balanced, Comrade. Very balanced vehicle. It's majestic too. Luckily for us, Sweden didn't get a Sherman. Well, that's probably a good point, actually. Oops. Now I've got to wait to do those. God damn it. Tip by air. That's a pretty good meme already, commit. I like that one. Best plane. Oh dear God, man. Right, so I'm assuming that I'm not supposed to turn with this thing then. It's good in a straight line, maybe. Stonuts. Critical hit coming. Oh, if these are the best missiles, they are kind of crap. Get off. I am the proper Delta Wing. You're just a cheap British inferior. Yeah, I did like a very small attack on you to crit you. I assume that's what killed you. Wow, that went after what? That went after a tank. Look how slow it's going now. Oh, Where's the effort? Maybe there's something. So once this takes damage, it can't accelerate for shit, basically. That's what I'm seeing it. Get off! The flight model for this is wow. Just wow. Look at the speed. Wait, what? Something broke there. Do we have a parachute? If we don't have a parachute, then I think we're fucked. No, it's slowing down now. Okay. That was you getting hit by a wait. They're almost hitting me and they're shooting at that guy over there. Oh. So there's that. That's fun. It's literally just lost a wingtip and that's the plane dead apparently. Like about a foot square if the wingtip is falling off and it's dead. Oh, sorry, Comrade. It's a very fragile plane. Reduce speed wouldn't. Oh, the wings didn't rip at least. No. Oh, he's dropping flares. I'm not sure what the G overload is on these. 16G, these should be really good then. But they're locking onto random crap. They ignored his flares. But they didn't catch him. Can we get a little bit more speed? Come on. Yeah. More speed. More speed. Can I pull straight up? Probably not. What I'm going to try and do is do a rough, like 30 to 40 degree climb angle. If I can hit Mach 2, that would be ideal. She's still accelerating. Come on. Come on, Mach 2. Come on. Come on. Come on. I think she's struggling at this altitude. We're already halfway across the map. Let's go, boys. $19,000 meters, already still over Mach 1. Come on. Come on, Lightning. 20,000 meters. Come on. Come on. 21,000 meters. 200 miles. That's still doing Mach 1. Oh. 21,500 meters. Oh, 700. She's stalling. She's stalling. There we go. 21,769 meters. I think that is going to be my best effort for tonight. For that. So that is as fast as the Japanese Phantom. I mean, part of the reason for me wanting to try that, I was curious of a few things actually. Kind of the service ceiling for the game, maybe. Just to see if it was set at a kind of false height. But I also wanted to have a look at whether it was possible to do a zoom climb like I'd heard you'd be able to do zoom climbs with the Lightning in particular. The wiki page that I linked, there's information on there about them doing pretty much what I was doing here. And the reason why they did it was to see if they could intercept the American spy plane, the U-2. Because that flew at extremely high altitude. And they did it as a military experiment with the Lightning. And the Lightning went up to 27,000 meters. But that was the Lightning F3, which is a different version to this. It's a even faster version, if I'm completely honest. Doesn't carry the guns, and was a little bit different as far as the design went. So therefore a little bit quicker, if that, that's actually possible. So they used one of these to catch the U2, or at least to make a pass at it, and it went up to 27,000 meters from the account, or at least from what the Wikipedia page says, which equates to 60 something thousand feet, I think. Let me just bring that back up again for those people that use Imperial, that is. Which is, that's a very significant height, if I'm completely honest. And I suppose it kind of showed that the U2 was catchable, I suppose. The Japanese and the American Phantom E's both get flares. The American Phantom C gets a RWR, but no flares. But yeah, where is it? In 1984, during a NATO exercise, Flight Lieutenant Mike Haight intercepted U2 at a height which they had previously considered safe, thought to be 66,000 or around about 20,000 meters. Records showed that Hale also climbed to 88,000, 27,000 meters in his Lightning F3. This was not a sustained flight. It was pretty much what I was doing, but a ballistic climb. So you basically do a zoom climb to get to that altitude. But yeah, that was in the F3, and the F3, like I say, was a lighter, faster version of the Lightning. Anyway, as I said, it's been a bit of a long one. I wasn't really planning on spending that much time doing this tonight, but getting my hands on the Lightning has been a bit of fun, I suppose. So I've been enjoying that. I mean, obviously it's not been very action packed. I do apologise for that, but it's more of a experiment, and I think I pleased myself with that one, or pleased myself as far as seeing the performance of the actual Lightning in game. Obviously this is the dev server or dov server, so things are subject to change.